Let's answer a very important question today. Should you top up your family members' CPF? And when we are talking about family members, we are talking about three directions. Number one, upwards. Number two, sideways. And number three, downwards. So number one, upwards. It means people who are more senior than you. They can be like your parents-in-law, grandparents, grandparents-in-law, including adoptive parents and grandparents. And from the government's perspective, this will also include spouse and siblings with disabilities. So all these family members will be considered the upward group. Now moving on to group 2, this will be the sideways group, and mainly your spouse, your siblings-in-law, adoptive siblings, but it will exclude your spouse and siblings with disabilities because all these are considered the upwards group, the group 1. Okay, so those with disabilities, they belong to group 1. If your spouse and siblings are in healthy state, then yes, they just belong to group 2, sideways. And the third group will be the downwards direction, which are your descendants, your children, adoptive children. And yeah, if you want to join like-minded community of over 20,000 members discussing about CPF and how to enrich your retirement life, then come and join us at Honey Money SG Telegram group for free right now in this link. So when we are talking about contributing or topping up your family member's CPF, I think there is a fundamental reason why we need to do so, which is most importantly, reason number 1, tax relief. Now, IRS has put it very clear out there that if you are doing a contribution to your family members downwards, which means group number 3, there will be no benefits at all. This means there is no benefit in contributing or topping up your children's CPF despite you having good faith for them. Then let's move up the ladder. If you want to contribute sideways, which means to your spouse and siblings, there is an annual ceiling cap of $8,000 per year, which means that if your spouse and siblings do not earn more than $8,000 per year and you contribute or top up their CPF, you will be entitled to tax relief. And to be super clear, this $8,000 will not just be coming from taxable employment income. It will also include tax-exempted income like your high-interest savings account, all this interest coming in, and maybe even your dividends as well. It also includes foreign source income if that is applicable. So you see, this $8,000 annual income ceiling is actually really easy to hit. So IRS is probably smarter than you in thinking your loopholes for, tax avoidance. Now then, having discussed all of this, what is then the benefit to contribute to your family member CPF? And the only direction is upwards, and that is group number 1. Because when you contribute to your parents, parents-in-law, grandparents, grandparents-in-law, and even your spouse or siblings with disabilities, you will be entitled to tax relief. This is up to $8,000 per year, whether you top up to their special account or the MediSave account. And there are no income requirements unlike group number 2, the sideways generation. And the fact is that it only applies to those top-ups below the FRS. So if it's above the FRS, you're not even able to contribute anyway. So to put it very clearly, if you just want to go after tax relief benefits, you can only contribute to those family members who are upwards direction with zero income requirements. If you want to contribute sideways, it is possible, but there's a very strict income requirement cap of $8,000 per year. Then if you want to contribute downwards, sorry, no go. There is no benefit in doing so for tax relief. So the other reason, if you want to contribute to your family members, but not really for tax relief, is for another benefit known as the Match Retirement Savings Scheme, or MRSS. So under this scheme, for those senior citizens with lower retirement savings, the government will provide a dollar-to-dollar matching amount. And there's a limit, which is $2,000 per year with a $20,000 cap over an eligible member's lifetime. And you can read through the CPF website for the eligibility requirements because not all senior citizens will qualify for MRSS. There's a specific list of criteria that you need to hit according to this table. Also, to be clear, from 1st January 2025 onwards, MRSS contributions will not be eligible for tax relief anymore. Okay, in the past they used to be, but it was a much lower cap of I think $600. Now that they increased the MRSS contribution to $2,000 per year, but there will be no more tax relief. Okay, be very clear on that. So in today's episode, we are collaborating with USmart SG to show you how you can invest with the USmart mobile app. Let's talk about regular savings plan, which is a very important feature if you want to practice dollar cost averaging into the market. On your USmart app, go to trade, then click more, then regular savings plan, and you can now create your RSP. And you know what's the better news for regular savings plan on USmart? It has no commission, no platform fees, no exchange fees, and no custodian fees. But it is based on the pay first and rebate later model. And to a beginner, a regular savings plan or RSP is the most passive way of investing through dollar cost averaging because it takes away the friction and hassle of depositing funds, exchanging currency, and then placing your trades. So it's really perfect for beginners or busy people who prefer a more hands-off approach towards investing. Do use my exclusive link below to sign up or scan the QR code right here to get your USmart SG account today. Also, there's another way to transfer your own CPF savings to your family member's CPF. I think you can use your OA to transfer to your spouse SA, which is what I learned from my own community. But do note that when you do this kind of transfer, it will not be counted for tax relief at all. Just that this OA to SA transfer to your spouse is also non-reversible, so it's a one-way street. And I guess the most important numbers must have been how much can you contribute to your family members' CPF. They do follow the general rule of the special account being the FRS, full retirement sum, and Medisave account being the BHS, basic healthcare sum. And for the reference of 2025, the FRS is $213,000. So this is the maximum you can contribute to your family members' CPF SA. Then for Medisave, it is at the BHS, which is currently $75,500 for the year of 2025. So if you're not really topping up your family member's CPF for tax relief, I think another reason why people want to do that is to want to help them reach their financial retirement goals. Especially if you are the main breadwinner of the family and your spouse is like a homemaker having no income, his or her CPF levels may be really low and you want to make that contribution to his or her CPF account. So if your family member's CPF special account has not reached the full retirement sum yet, you being able to contribute to their special account will help them increase the CPF Life payouts in the future when they turn 65, especially for older family members because CPF Life starts paying out at age 65. So if you're able to help them bump up their CPF Life payouts, it is a very stable form of retirement support which will pay them for life. And this may be an alternative other than giving them cash allowances over the months or the years because CPF Life payouts are guaranteed by the government. Especially if your older family member do not really know how to manage money and anyhow squander the money, at least the CPF Life can every month just pay out monthly, give a fixed sum to your older family member, okay, to ensure they don't anyhow take a large sum of money and anyhow spend. So this is really a more pragmatic approach, but it requires prior communication and make sure everyone is aligned on this plan. Number 3 reason that you want to contribute to your family member's CPF is that it has better risk-free returns. And when I say risk-free, I generally mean like free from market risk, but it doesn't deviate the fact that there is policy risk. You can see that CPF SA and RA have very attractive interest rates from 4% per annum. Also, when you're older than 55 and your retirement account is set up, you get like additional up to 2% per annum interest in your RA account. Furthermore, when you're really old at that age, it's really not recommended for you to go into like market equity with all the equity risks. And the risk appetite is very different from senior citizens compared to when you're younger as a working adult. So at that point, like CPF Life payouts may prove to be more stable and more reliable compared to, keep investing your money in the equity market. And coming to this part of the video, you may realize that a lot of these benefits are really targeted at senior citizens for their old age benefit and retirement payouts. So this is really focusing on Group 1, which is the upward direction, right? Those seniors who are above your level, not so much for the sideways level or the downward level, Group 2 or Group 3. You realize that for Group 2, it's really a sideways thing, like they have an annual income cap, which means that they could probably work if they want to, unless they are coming with disabilities, which is why those with disabilities will be to Group 1, the upwards section. And then you realize if you contribute downwards to your descendants, your children, there's totally no benefit at all because the government probably wants you to take care of yourself first before you take care of your descendants, which makes sense. So if you want my honest take on whether you should contribute to your family member's CPF, I feel that you should take care of yourself first. Okay, if you haven't reached your own full retirement sum or your own basic healthcare sum, contribute to yourself first. Okay, then once you have access, you have abundance, then consider topping up to your family member's CPF. Lastly, then you think of topping up your own children because your parents or your grandparents' priority should always come first before your children. That's what I feel. And if you think from a rational scenario, whatever that you contribute to your grandparents and your parents will flow back to you in the form of inheritance. So if you contribute to your children's CPF, it's really not in the mind of getting anything back, but it's more like to bless them. Okay, there's no benefits in doing so, but you just want to bless them. That is also okay if you really like it. But I felt that if you're a parent yourself, it is more important to impart basic financial discipline to your children so that they grow up with the right financial habits rather than you just top up their CPF. They probably don't know what you're doing anyway. But anyways, that is just my personal opinion. You can don't listen to me one, okay? I'm just another creator, influencer speaking on the internet, which a lot of people think is rubbish lah. But if it applies to you, then yes, I hope this will help you. Also, you have heard me saying about the full retirement sum many times, and you may not even understand what does this even mean. So I can refer you to my CPF full retirement sum guide in this video right here.